of getting your point across is to be educated. Because a lot of people know, I'll use myself as an example. Yeah. You see me walking on the street dressed like this, I put myself right out there. This hat's on like this, A cop sees me, he's not going to look at me and think that I'm a, if a cop sees me and he's actually trying to practice discrimination, he's not going to think I'm a guy who's writing his own book. He's going to probably ask me, what am I doing around here? What am I up to? Ask me some questions, but because he's not trying to take the time to get to know me as a person. But if he hears me speak to him and respond to him in a way that he never heard before, then he's going to have no interest but to listen to me.
Right.
Whether he likes it or not. Because my clothes don't make me who I am. I make myself who I am.
Right. But, how we approach it.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody approaches you and interrogates you, you can't respond, so peaceful. You're going to feel violated. And so then that violation itself is not going to breed upon your natural reaction.
Yeah.
And so that's how, I think the first steps of that tension is going to build, because you're going to immediately feel you have to defend yourself somehow.
Yeah.
And you're powerless to someone who holds so much authority. And I think that's, you're talking about terrorism and stuff like that. It's nobody's being heard. Is that perhaps the reason why we're fighting, is nobody is being heard and everybody wants to be heard? What is it? What are we seeking?
I think people are seeking to be heard, and people are seeking to get solutions to some of their problems.
As a nation, as a person, as people?
Pretty much as a person, and it's spreading into communities, because people just want to be heard. They just want to be known that there's a place I can go to I can say how I feel, express how I feel, and you're listening. And at the end of the day, you're going to give me some sort of resolution to what I'm asking you for, whatever the problems may be. Frustration stems from, because, like, for example, I've spoken to a lot of youth in where I used to live before, in the Jane and Finch area where I grew up, and I left Jane and Finch, I went to Rexdale. And in both neighborhoods, I used to speak to a lot of youth, and they used to tell me, like if an officer would come up to me and start harassing me, I would respond in a way that they'd be like, why are you responding so positive? Why are you talking to the police so nice? And I said that because if I talk to them in an angry fashion, and if I have a problem later on and I have to go to them and ask them for help, they're not going to want to help me. If I be rude to them today, they're going to be rude to me tomorrow. So I have to learn that sometimes it's best to keep your mouth closed, be peaceful, and gradually learn that in life, you disrespect somebody today, they're not going to want to help you tomorrow. Yeah?
Right.
Because we're all, no matter if we're authority or not, we're still human beings first. If I say something rude to the police today, and then tomorrow, I happen to need help from them, they're going to say, yeah, I will help you, and they'll shelve me to the back burner, because they're human beings. They'll say, this guy's a troublemaker. We were talking to him just yesterday, and he showed us all this disrespect, and now today he wants our help. So you have to learn to, even though you may feel upset at being discriminated, yes, it's natural. I've been discriminated, and I felt upset. But I had to learn to come at it with a more peaceful approach. And there's been numerous times where I've been approached by the police in various ways where I knew it was wrong, but I've never, ever retaliated in a negative format to say, swear at them, disrespect them back. I held my composure. If there were times where I had to file a complaint, I'd file the complaint, because at the end of the day, first of all, I know I have no criminal record. I've never been in trouble with the law, so how much could they really do to me at the end of the day if I'm not wrong? So I just learned that you got to learn to keep your composure in situations like that.
Wow. So when is this book coming out?
My birthday, actually. April
when's that?
21st, 2010. Yeah.
April 21st.
It's soon coming, yeah?
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy, you're going to have to come back and tell us all about
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Well, we sort of did, but we can get into it some more.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's the title of the book again?
It's called Black Empowerment and Minority Issues. Yeah.
So is it like a textbook, or what is it?
No, it's basically it's like a self-help book, actually. Because each chapter basically gives you the problems, but I also offer solutions. I never just talked about a bunch of problems. I actually offer solutions from my point of view, because every one of those problems in the book I talked about, I went through all of them. So I'm personally speaking from my own experiences, because I dealt with every last one of them. So it's not to say I'm just speaking off of what I think I know. It's off of what I've actually been through, and I've seen my friends and fellow colleagues and fellow acquaintances go through the same problems, even worse. So it turned into
Joel,
that.
what made you want to write this book? I mean, how long have you been writing it, firstly?
Actually, I've been writing the book in my brain for years.
Okay.
For several years I've gathered up the mental information, but actually I'm an overall entrepreneur. I have a DJ service. I'm also a rapper, and I love to write. But when I write stuff now, people always tell me that I write stuff that involves so much. My friends always tell me every time I write something, it's always to try to help somebody. Yeah? So I started looking at all the things. I used to write poems all the time, and I started looking at everything, and I said, you know, I can turn this into a book. So what motivated me was, in all honesty, was that I have 2 nephews, you know, that they're always watching what I do, and they're always analyzing what I do to try and do it the same way, because they're one's 7 and the other one's 10, and they're always looking up to me. So one day my 10-year-old nephew told me, "Why don't you write a book, Uncle?" Yeah, and that solidified it right there. Yeah, I just started to take everything I had and I composed it into a book. Yeah? The title came about now basically based off of all my experiences over the years of my life. You know, I feel personally that every chapter in that book are problems that are very much stemming in minority communities. You know, they're plaguing minority communities every single day. You know, where especially the chapter involving chapter 2, which is called "Seeking Your Passion Over Employment." You know, I know a lot of talented people, a lot of talented friends of mine, they put aside all their talents. They could be great filmmakers, they could be great songwriters, producers, etc. But they're working 9-to-5 jobs because that's what their parents are forcing them to do.
Right.
Man. And unfortunately, it's a problem that I see very much. You know, minority parents are always pushing their children towards the job market. You know, that's more lucrative than going after your dreams.
Right.
You know, and that's where sometimes a lot of them give up on themselves and decide that, you know what, I can't be bothered with the job market. My parents are saying don't go after the dreams. I'll just do whatever I feel like doing. You know, so I'm trying with this book now. I've turned it into something where, even though it's based for minorities, anybody can read that book and learn something from it towards helping yourself, no matter what nationality you are. Yeah,
Right.
Because it's designed basically as a self-help book for all forms of people. Yeah. You know, it's. I hope and pray that it gets to where if I can influence one person with that book, my job's done. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, 'cause that's what I designed it for. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, it sounds like you got 3 passions at least, right? One is the writing of the book, for example, that you came out with. The other is your DJ service.
Yeah.
And then there's the rapping,
Yeah.
which we haven't even talked about.
Okay.
Did you bring us a
anything?
CD here
Yeah.
today or anything like
Actually,
that?
I brought a CD for
Oh,
that.
cool.
But you know,
Yes?
actually, yeah. I can have a CD.
I'd love to
we
hear
should
it.
end the show with it.
Yeah.
If we can somehow get the CD to Blue, she'll play it as we go out, and maybe we can get you back to talk about that one day. But let's talk about your DJ service.
Sure.
Love, Joy, and Unity.
Yeah.
Boy, it sounds like more than just a commercial venture, Joel.
Well, I designed that brochure myself too. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's basically ninja. That's what I started doing when I came into the business world. I started off as a DJ, still a DJ, and that's one of my wedding brochures. You know?